Today is one of the saddest moments in the history of Lugbara-Kari, especially when we lose His Highness, the Agofe of the Lugbara. You know, the first Agofe of him who actually ruled the Lugbara was Jalesiga from Aluru land. And after Jalesiga, the chiefs elected Marco Boroa, who was the second Agofe. And then Boroa was succeeded by His Highness Jason Avutia, who passed on yesterday around 3:30 o'clock. And in the Lugbara calendar, it's a very sad day. Jason has been a very influential leader, very good cultural leader, in the sense that he preached a lot of peace and harmony among the Lugbara. He was the champion of the peace that is prevailing today. At White Rhino Hotel on 29th January 1986, when the young boys of Lugbara, we call them young boys because these were soldiers who wanted to fight the NRM government. It was Jason Avutia the late who asked them to put down their arms. And they obeyed him, accepted that. They accepted it and laid down their arms. And there was no fight, not even a single shot. And this is the peace that we're enjoying today. It's a bit unfortunate that nothing was done to him, not even recognizing him for what he did. That's the most unfortunate part. But all the same, he has been a leader. He suffered from, many diseases. Whenever I will come to him, he will complain of headache. At times he says he's not hearing what I'm saying. So this was due to old age. Of course, somebody over 97 years, he really survived. He really went through a lot of things. And it was a very, very, good hand that kept him to that age. I want to thank the family so much for what they did to him. We have the Lugbara traditional, norms of burying. Formerly, the graves would have been dug by his uncles, but these days, today it's not the case. Any volunteer can do it. But even if you do it yourself and you're not an uncle, the uncles will come around and they say, how about the grave? And that's a custom. And it is still followed. Two, burying him, of course he will be buried in the attire of Lugbara-Kari. That is his, the regalia, the dress will be the one in which he will be, put into, to give conviction to the chiefs, the cabinet, and the entire Lugbara community, to have a sense of direction that, yes, it is our own and he has gone back in our way. That one is what is going to happen. Jason Avutia has been a role model to all the Lugbara, both within and abroad. His message has always been of peace, unity, and the development of the Lugbara people. When we developed the Lugbara anthem, he read it, he went over it, and he gave it an approval. Says this is what is befitting. So to date, I remember him for that. We have always had meetings. The chiefs and the cabinet will always converge, come to him. These meetings are called Langa. This is the highest level of sitting of the Lugbara people that is normally chaired by him. Shall miss him a lot. And what happens is the body is lying in the palace. That will be taken after some time to Emmanuel Cathedral, probably on Friday for memorial service. And then thereafter, on Saturday, will be taken to the village, that is Enivu village of Logri sub-county. And that's where his ancestral home is. The queen died and she was taken there and is going to be buried next to Her Majesty. A date has been set already for that process. It is 1st February 2023 in Arua Social Center. That's when a replacement for him will be made. However, what he wanted, God didn't allow it to happen, because he had wanted his replacement to be, mentioned before, departure like this. But he couldn't, and we couldn't do it. We are very sorry for that, but that is an arrangement from Almighty God. But I'm very, very hopeful that come 1st February 2023, a replacement will be done. He had been actually an educationist. He started as a classroom teacher when he qualified, and then he became a head teacher for a school. After that, he developed and became an education officer, Ministry of Education and Sports, West Nile. They used to call it, the education committee. He was a top member there, to the level of a commissioner for education. And then that is the much I know about him, because he will joke a lot with me about these things. He says, we started a school in such a place, I brought these teachers here, we transferred people like this, and they will tell me how he will travel to Kampala for his education. Some of the levels he attended from Kampala, said he will go by the ship. We had Stanley, he was telling me the ship, the other one was called Lugard, they will go via Moyo, use the steamer, and so those are the kind of things he will tell me. But what I know is he is somebody who loved education so much. I can't be exact to say for how long he has served, but when they banned the cultural institutions, there was that gap. And that gap got him in an association called the Arua District Elders Association. They didn't want these things to die, culture to die. So they worked under an umbrella called Arua Elders Association, which actually is Lugbara-Kari itself. Then this is quite a very long time. Quite a long time, over 30, 40 years. That is how he has been here on this throne. Occasionally, he will ask for replacement. People say, no, it's you who is fitting for that, and he will respect and accept that. But the complaint became a bit, persistent, because now since his age was going, he was becoming older and weaker. So he will always say, please, rescue me from my situation, get somebody to replace me. We will laugh it off, we will joke it off, because we didn't want to lose him. We didn't want him to leave the chair. That was what it is. I want to say here very, very strongly that Lugbara is developing. We started from the scrap, and already things are working. If there are chiefs in the place already, that's a very clear sign that we are developing. And very soon, I promise, we are going to have His Highness Agofe elected to replace him. The chiefs were mentored by him. The ministers were mentored by him. He was somebody who actually cut across all this board. And he was the one who will always ask for this meeting. Say, can we have a meeting at home? He will talk to the chiefs and tell the chiefs the roles they are supposed to play in the community. And then he will also talk to the cabinet and say, your honorable ministers, what I need you to do is this, keep the community informed, develop like this. He also had his ways of telling us how to do things. So that is the area. And we are going to emulate exactly what he actually taught to us. So I'll continue to remember him for that. A peacemaker and a peace lover. He has been a very calm person.
Mama oreta data voradia de ma indinesi slep azabe mane andregadi ma mudriti ma dira sotikare ni tade program open fe dunia desi how did it ma dira ko.
We have lost a leader who united us. I would like to tell a brief thing. If a big man or a chief dies in Lugbara, we don't bury him immediately. When they say 1 week, people will dance for 1 week, they will eat for 1 week, women, their aunts will be around. The women who are the Agofe will be around. We chiefs will also be around.
For the first time, I was Minister of Foreign Affairs to go out to check where the Lugbaras are in the Congo, in West Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe. And when I came back, after finishing whatever I did, I was transferred as a Minister of Education and Sports because of my profession. During Corona time, when girls were getting pregnant, I will come to him. I will tell him this is the problem. He closes his eyes, but he will tell me, go out, tell girls, please study.